Once there was a man who worked tirelessly, chasing what he thought was success. His name was Leo. He was a brilliant architect, known for designing magnificent skyscrapers that touched the clouds. He believed that the more he built, the more he would be worth. His mantra was simple: work hard now, enjoy later. Later, he promised himself, was a magical time when he would finally have enough money, enough prestige, and enough time to live. Leo's days were a blur of blueprints, client meetings, and construction sites. He rarely saw his family. His wife, Clara, would leave him dinner in the oven, a silent testament to another evening spent alone. His son, Sam, would show him his crayon drawings of their family, always with a sad face on the father figure. "Daddy is always at work?" Sam would mumble, his little voice filled with a disappointment that cut deeper than any failed project. Leo would pat his head, promise to make it to his next soccer game, and then get pulled away by another urgent phone call. One day, Leo landed the project of a lifetime, a monumental tower that would redefine the city's skyline. The Elysian Spire, he called it. It would be his legacy, his masterpiece. He poured every waking moment into it, sleeping in his office, surviving on coffee and ambition. The project consumed him. He missed birthdays, anniversaries, and school plays. "Just this one last push," he would tell Clara. "Then we'll have all the time in the world." Years passed. The Elysian Spire rose, a gleaming monument to Leo's dedication. On the day of the grand opening, he stood on the observation deck, the city sprawling beneath him like a carpet of jewels. He had done it. He was at the pinnacle of his career. Media hailed him as a visionary. His bank account was overflowing. He had everything he had ever worked for. That evening, he went home earlier than he had in years, a bottle of expensive champagne in hand. He walked into a quiet house, found a note from Clara on the kitchen table. It wasn't angry or bitter. It was just ... empty. "Leo," it read, "I've taken Sam to live with my sister for a while. We've waited for later for too long. It seems later is a place we can't reach together. The boy you promised to watch play soccer is now a teenager who barely knows you. The woman you promised to travel the world with has spent her best years waiting. We can't wait anymore." The note slipped from his fingers. He walked through the silent house, his footsteps echoing in the void. He saw Sam's old drawings taped to the fridge, the father figure still a distant silhouette. We saw photos of holidays he'd missed, of smiles he hadn't been there to witness. He had built a skyscraper for the world, but had let his own home crumble. In his despair, Leo wandered out of his house and just started walking. He walked for hours, aimlessly, until he found himself in a part of town he'd never seen before. He stumbled upon a strange, dimly lit shop tucked between two modern buildings. The sign above the door, written in elegant, glowing script, simply said, "The Time Emporium." Curiosity piqued. He pushed the door open. A small bell chimed. The shop was filled with clocks of all shapes and sizes. Grandfather clocks, cuckoo clocks, hourglasses, sundials. Behind a large wooden counter stood an old man with eyes that seemed to hold the wisdom of ages. "Welcome," the old man said, his voice calm and steady. "What can I do for you?" Leo, feeling a strange sense of desperation, blurted out, "I want to buy time. I need more time." The old man smiled faintly. "My friend's not for sale, my friend, but you can trade for it." He gestured to the shelves behind him, lined with ornate, glowing jars. These jars contain moments, happy moments, sad moments, moments of love, moments of triumph. People trade GGI's future years for a chance to relive a past moment. Leo was skeptical, but a sliver of hope ignited within him. "I'll give you anything," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "I'll give you 10 years of my life to go back, to my son's first soccer game. I need to be there." The old man nodded slowly. "A steep price."
Right.
10 years of your future for one afternoon in your past? Are you sure? Leo didn't hesitate. Absolutely. The old man took a dusty jar from a high shelf. He uncorked it, and a warm golden light spilled out, smelling of freshly cut grass and youthful excitement. He instructed Leo to breathe it in. As Leo inhaled, the world dissolved. He found himself standing on the sidelines of a soccer field. The sun was warm on his face. He saw a much younger Clara waving at him, her face alight with surprise and joy. And there, on the field, was a small boy with his name on the back of his jersey. It was Sam, no older than 7, chasing the ball with all his might. Sam scored a goal, and his eyes immediately scanned the crowd, searching. When he saw Leo, his face broke into the biggest, brightest smile Leo had ever seen. He ran to the sideline. "Daddy, you came. You really came." Leo knelt and hugged his son Ephidos, tears streaming down his face. He felt the warmth of his small body, the pure, unadulterated joy of that single moment. He cheered for every play, he held Clara's hand, and for that one afternoon, he was just a father and a husband. It was the happiest he had ever been. Then, just as quickly as it began, the moment faded. He was back in the time emporium, the scent of grass replaced by dust and old wood. He felt ... older. A decade older, looked at his reflection in a clock face and saw deeper lines around his eyes, more gray in his hair. The 10 years were gone. The old man looked at him with a knowing, sad expression. Was it worth it? "Yes," Leo whispered, his voice raspy. "It was worth everything." But as he said it, a profound sadness washed over him. He had paid 10 years of his future for a memory, beautiful, perfect memory, but it was over. He couldn't stay there. He hadn't changed anything. He had only borrowed a ghost. The old man then pointed to another section of the shop where there were no clocks, only a single large empty hourglass on a pedestal. "Most people who come here want to buy back the past," he said softly. "They trade their future for yesterday, but the past is a shadow. You can visit, but you can't live there. The real treasure isn't on these shelves." He walked Leo to the empty hourglass. "The time you have left," the old man said, "is unwritten. It's like this empty glass. Every grain of sand that has not yet fallen is a moment you still have the power to shape. Can't buy back the years you lost. But you can choose how to spend the seconds you have left." A profound realization dawned on Leo. He had been trying to buy back what was gone, when the real value was in what was still to come. He had spent his life building a legacy of steel and glass, but his true legacy was in the hands he could still hold, the conversations he could still have, the love he could still give. He thanked the old man, his heart both heavy and strangely light. He left the shop and walked back into the night. But this time, he wasn't aimless. He had a destination. He drove 4 hours to his sister-in-law's house. He arrived as the sun was rising. He knocked on the door, his heart pounding. Clara opened it, her expression wary. Behind her, a tall young man he'd barely recognized stood, his face a mixture of confusion and resentment. It was Sam. Leo didn't offer excuses or grand promises. He just looked at them, his eyes filled with a raw, honest regret. "I can't get back the time I lost," he began, his voice trembling. "I was a fool. I traded moments with you for things that don't matter, but I'm here now, and I'm not leaving. I don't want to build any more towers. I want to build a life with you. If you'll let me, it wasn't easy." Trust, once broken, is a difficult thing to rebuild. It took months of small gestures, making breakfast, attending Sam's band concerts, listening, truly listening, to Clara talk about her day. He sold his shares in the company, stepping away from the Elysian Spire and the world it represented. He found that a simple walk in the park with his wife was more fulfilling than any grand opening. He discovered that a late-night talk with his son was worth more than any business deal. One evening, months later, the three of them were sitting in the living room, laughing at an old movie. In that simple, unremarkable moment, Leo felt a sense of peace he had never known atop his tallest tower. He had learned the hardest lesson of all: time is not money. Time is not a commodity to be earned or bought. Time is life itself. And every second is a priceless gift, not to be saved for later, but to be lived right now.